Whilst we wait for the studio wildcard to tell us what the PC specs are going to be for Ark Survival Ascended, knowing that we can all play Ark Survival Evolved, I want to show you a couple of games that I know use Unreal Engine 5 and see if we can sort of figure out what requirements are going to be. This is the one game I have that's on the Unreal Engine 5 so far, Sengoku Dynasty. You can see here, these are the specs. So you need Intel i5 or a Ryzen 5 2600 to be minimum. Minimum memory 16 gig. GTX 1650 4 gig or a Radeon RX 570 4 gig or the Intel Arc, which is quite new, 8 gig and 20 gig available storage. The recommended is an i5 12600K or the Ryzen 5 7600X. I don't even have that. I've got a 3700X. 24 gig of RAM. I've got 32. 3060 Ti or RX 6700 XT. So I've got the 3070 and 20 gig available space. Now, Sengoku is not like Ark whatsoever. Now, what they had to do, and they've just done this in October. This game came out in like, I'm going to say July, August sometime. They've finally patched it where it's basically the menu loads way faster than before. It's just for opening the game, the loading of the main level. We need to do complete overhaul of content streaming. This will also improve the overall game performance. If I load it up now and play it, and we'll see how long it takes. So I wish I'd recorded this earlier because that's laser fast, and hopefully Wildcard can do this because they're a bigger studio, they're more established than Super Kami. Moon Punch is Wild West Dynasty. But if I just open a new game, right, just start a brand new game, this is the loading screen. Let's see how long it takes. And it does say there at the bottom, loading may take up several minutes on lower machines. Thank you for your patience. And we're still waiting. And we're still waiting. Now for me, is it because I don't have a fast as a CPU? Does it take longer? So the minimum is the i5 1200 series or the Ryzen 5 7000 series. I have the Ryzen 7 3700X. Alright, so how long? That took a few minutes, didn't it? And then we get the game. If you're not familiar with this game, it's pretty good and it's very pretty. So let me just skip this so you can have a quick look at it. Now obviously it's funny, you've clicked on an Ark video, but you're getting something else. But this is an Unreal Engine 5. I am in, what are my settings? So it's 1440p, it's full, I've got max frames unlimited. I never know what any of this stuff means. I never really bother, I just throw everything on epic and hope for the best. So yeah, I mean, lighting and shading's good, so hopefully we can see something like this or better on Ark ASA. And the movement, the lighting and stuff. It's similar in a way. I'm just going to ignore all this because there's going to be a lot more stuff running on Ark. You got to remember with all the dinos and the dinos and the pathing. This has animals, but nowhere near to the extent. But it does have a lot of foliage and water, as you can hear. So this is what the water effect looks like. Now, I have no idea what they've done with this. If anyone knows in the comments, let us know. It's a good looking game. This is a very, very small indie team. I'm not sure if this is their first game or not. They went with Unreal Engine 5 and they're patching it quite a bit, but you can see here lots and lots of foliage. You can run through it. It doesn't really, but we got some wind effects, some slight movements and stuff. So it depends what Ark's doing, but I mean, it runs okay for me, this game. And as you said, so I'm sort of in between with the CPU. I've got a better GPU, but I'm in between on the CPU. but it might give you an indication of like, can you run ASA without knowing what the requirements are, but why wouldn't it be high? Now, JPG, he pointed out on one of his videos that, snail games in general, what they tend to do, they only give you the minimum requirements just to encourage more people to play it, which is fair enough. If you compare that, and I'm going to put it back on the screen now in the edit, i5-2400, the GTX 670, I mean, you're looking 2 gig. These are really old. I mean, the game is 8 years old. So yeah, if I compare that, I'll put it on the screen now, and then you can see what minimum you need for Ark Survival Evolved. What I currently need for Sengoku, which is the only Unreal Engine 5 game I own. Lords of the Fallen's going to be an Unreal 5 game. Well, that's not too bad. So apparently, I think Lords of the Fallen is on Unreal, and if it's not, I'll bin it off. But for this, you need a 2080 or a RX 6700, SSD required. I think a few games are going to be asking for that now. A Ryzen 5 3600. 16 gig of RAM. But even like going from 2 gig of RAM to 16 gig or whatever people have got, that's a big one, isn't it? And that's brand new. That's just come out. So that might give us an indication, but also it's a single player game. It's a lot smaller. Maybe Ark will run like shit when it first comes out. It's a lot better reading it on Steam than it is Epic. But so for Lords of the Fallen, brand new game on Unreal Engine 5, you're looking a minimum of a 1060, minimum of a Ryzen 5 2600s, 45 gigs thing, SSD preferred, and then for recommended 2080 or above, SSD required. Some people don't even have SSD. Well, everyone should have an SSD now, and the Ryzen 5 3600, a lot better than what Ark expects. People having problems with the actual running of the game, so we've got that to look forward to. Probably it's crashing all the time. Oh god, who remembers Ark when that used to crash non-stop? Yikes. I mean, yeah, you just can read these. I'm just scrolling through them, but my god, that's a bit of a concern for me. There's a lot of action on it, as you can see. First true next gen, best looking action RPG, blah blah blah. Everyone's saying it looks great. The recommended is reasonable, but them comments about the performances and stuff. And God love them wildcards. Badly optimized Ark Survival Evolved. Is this something that we need to worry about? I hope not, because I'm sick of like people being negative about the game, and I want to try and be positive. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Are you concerned about your PC settings? I mean, console will be different because it'll have to match up for the console anyway. But having said that, maybe there's hope, because if it's got to match the console, well then you're looking there, the 1060, the 1660, and the RX 6500. So what GPU is a PS5 equivalent to? 3060, and well, it's between the 3060 and the 3060 Ti or the Radeon 6600 XT. What about the Xbox X then? Probably the same as the PS5. So we're looking 3060. So pure speculation on my part, because some of those games that I was looking at, they're not coming out on the Xbox maybe, but you would imagine for recommended, it would be, they'd be pushing more for the PS5 performance, pushing more for the Xbox Series X performance. So we're looking there 3060 level. Let me know. Do you think you need to upgrade your system? Are you just going to get it on a console rather than PC? Especially now where they're saying that mods are coming to consoles. I'm making this video, I'm putting it up. October, it's Friday the 13th, unlucky for some. We'll have a new community crunch after. Maybe it'll give us some answers, but who knows, the way they've been drip feed and everything. All right, ta-da.